The findings of this Economist YouGov poll this year. Out of those who plan to celebrate Thanksgiving, 14% expect arguments over politics. Kelly, why is it that some holiday family get-togethers seem to spark fights? Is it because some relatives just don't know what boundaries are?
You got it. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. And so a lot of times we need to teach people what boundaries are. And you're right. A lot of people are going into the holiday feeling a little more anxious. And so what I advise my clients to do is make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Don't show up to Thanksgiving dinner feeling like the wick is burning at both ends. Make sure that you're engaging in self-care and feeling grounded. And most importantly, if somebody does, we all have a provocateur in our family. And if somebody is wanting to engage in some kind of conversation about politics, you can just say, thank you so much, but not today. And even some families are going so far as putting a sign up at their house that says politic-free zone, because there is a lot of uncertainty about, some people haven't seen cousins or aunts or uncles in quite some time. And Thanksgiving is not the time to try to convince somebody of your political views.
I just bought my no politics discussion on sign on Etsy.
Oh, is that why you're laughing?
It has not arrived yet, but I have to talk about politics at work all the time.
Don't want to do it at home.
We're not going to talk about it at home, too.
Good for you.
You suggest, in addition to the self-care before Thanksgiving, and since we're a few days out, also that if it gets a little hot, to politely remove yourself. What about asking somebody to remove themselves? I like to just say, is this your coat? And then they will get the idea that they've gone too far.
I love the direct approach. There's no room for interpretation. But certainly, when we have alcohol involved, sometimes people can say things that they regret or get a little out of hand. There can also be a sign that says everybody must leave by 6. And look, there are many people who feel like their family of origin is just too triggering, and they might feel that their chosen family might be a better option. So I want to give viewers the opportunity to say, you know what, not this year. I'm not going to show up, or I'm going to drop off dessert. And if it is just too much, then you can pass this year and maybe revisit showing up next year.
I was going to ask you about that passing. Let's say there are people out there who are still, really upset about the results, or just aren't in a place to, even be in a potential position of hearing someone talk politics. How do you get out of an invitation just a few days from Thanksgiving? I mean, do you tell the truth?
Well, I do like to practice honesty, but sometimes it's just too much and people feel like they're going to be judged. So there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm not feeling well this year. And that can be true. Maybe mentally you're not feeling great, and it's in your best interest, and probably everybody else's, if you stay home.
Now, if you have some people at the table or who are in the environment and they're not getting the hints, and you need to make a quick pivot, right? We got to get away from this. What are the small talk skills that we need? Give us some examples. What do we do?
Sure. So this is a time that we really do need to practice just kind of shooting the breeze, asking somebody how work is doing, or if they have any plans for the new year, or just simply commenting on what somebody's wearing. And oftentimes, if you do find that the conversation is going in the wrong direction, I always like to say practice acts of service. So you can take the garbage out, you can offer to get somebody another plate of food, you can start loading the dishwasher.
Want a drink?
We don't. Maybe go easy on the alcohol. Certainly, the thing that trips people up is they have this expectation of, this is my family. I have to stay for 8 hours. We're doing all of these things together, and you really don't. Just because it is blood relatives, perhaps, doesn't mean that you have to expose yourself to those kinds of conversations.
Kelly Kitley, you have given us some tools, and we are grateful. It always helps to identify something in the room or something you can quickly go to. It's like, oh, have you seen Grandma's brooch? It is just fantastic. Everybody look.
You got it.
I would practice being more forward like you and just grab someone's jacket and be like, I think it's waiting for you.
Is this your coat? Kelly, thank
Thanks,
you.
Kelly.